Hello and welcome back to our VGrow, your space to listen, repeat, shadow, and grow. I'm James and I'm really glad you're here today. In this episode, I'm going to share something that changed the way many of my students think about English. Today we are going to talk about how to have a full, real conversation using only 100 words. Yes, only 100 words. Not 1,000, not 500, just 100. And by the end of this episode, you will understand why this is enough. You will feel more confident, and you will be ready to speak. Let's begin. First, let me ask you a question. When you think about having a conversation in English, how do you feel? Maybe you feel nervous. Maybe you think, I don't know enough words. Maybe you think, I will make mistakes and people will laugh. Maybe you think, I need to study more before I can speak. I understand. Many learners feel exactly this way. But here is the truth. You don't need a big vocabulary to have a real conversation. You just need the right words used at the right time. That is the secret. Think about this. A small child speaks English every day. They talk to their parents, their friends, their teachers. And they use maybe 200 or 300 words. That's all. But they communicate. They get what they need. They share how they feel. They ask questions and they understand answers. So if a child can do it with 300 words, you can absolutely do it with 100. Now let's talk about what those 100 words look like. There are some words in English that you use in almost every conversation. Every single one. Words like I, you, we, it, this, that, here, there, yes, no, please, thank you, sorry, help, want, need, like, no, go, come, have to do, make, say, think, feel, good, bad, big, small, more, again, now, later, today, tomorrow, always, never, maybe, okay, and sure. These are small words. Simple words. But they are powerful. They are the building blocks of real communication. Let's try something together. Repeat after me slowly. I want to learn. Now you repeat. I don't know. Now you repeat. Can you help me? Now you repeat. I understand. Now you repeat. I don't understand. Now you repeat. Did you hear that? Those sentences used only simple words. But every single one is useful. Every single one is real. You could say those sentences today, right now, in a real conversation. Okay, so now let's look at how a real conversation works. A conversation has a simple structure. It goes like this. You say something. The other person responds. You respond back. That's it. It's a tennis match. Back and forth. You don't need long speeches. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need to keep the ball moving. Let me show you an example. Two people are meeting for the first time. Person A says, Hi, I'm Tom. Nice to meet you. Person B says, Hi Tom, I'm Anna. Nice to meet you too. Person A says, Where are you from? Person B says, I'm from Brazil. And you? Person A says, I'm from England. Do you like it here? Person B says, Yes, I do. It's very nice. That whole conversation used less than 50 words. And it was real. It was natural. It was complete. You could have that conversation today. You probably already know all those words. You just need the confidence to say them. Now let's talk about the 3 most important conversational tools. These are your secret weapons. Learn these and you can handle almost any conversation. Tool number 1. Buying time. Sometimes you hear a question and you need a moment to think. That's okay. Native speakers do this too. You can say things like, That's a good question. Or, let me think. Or, yes. These small phrases give you time. They keep the conversation moving. And they sound completely natural. Now you repeat after me. That's a good question. Now you repeat. Let me think about that. Now you repeat. Yes, I think so. Now you repeat. Tool number 2. Asking for help politely. You will not always understand everything. That is normal. It happens to everyone. So learn how to ask for help. You can say, Sorry, can you say that again? Or, Can you speak more slowly please? Or, What does that word mean? These are not signs of weakness. These are signs of a smart learner. Native speakers respect someone who asks clearly. Repeat after me. Sorry, can you say that again? Now you repeat. Can you speak more slowly please? Now you repeat. I don't understand. Can you help me? Now you repeat. Tool number 3. Keeping the conversation going. Good conversations don't stop. They grow. And you can help them grow with small responses. Things like, really? And, that's interesting. And, I see. And, me too. And, oh wow. These are just 2 or 3 words. But they tell the other person, I am listening. I am here. I am interested. And that makes them want to keep talking. And the more they talk, the more comfortable you feel. Repeat after me. Really? Now you repeat. That's interesting. Now you repeat. Me too. Now you repeat. Oh wow. Now you repeat. Okay. Now let's put it all together. I want to tell you a short story. Listen carefully. Then we will shadow it together. My name is Mia. I am learning English. One day, I went to a coffee shop. I felt nervous. My English was not perfect. But I walked in and I smiled. The person at the counter said, "Hi, what can I get you?" I said, "Hello. 1 coffee please. Small." They said, "Sure. What's your name?" I said, "Mia." They said, "Nice name. Here you go, Mia." I said, "Thank you so much." And I sat down. My heart was still beating fast. But I did it. I had a real conversation. In English. With only a few simple words. Now let's shadow that story together. Repeat each sentence after me slowly. My name is Mia. Now you repeat. I am learning English. Now you repeat. One day I went to a coffee shop. Now you repeat. I felt nervous. Now you repeat. But I walked in and I smiled. Now you repeat. 1 coffee please. Small. Now you repeat. Thank you so much. Now you repeat. I did it. Now you repeat. Beautiful. You just shadowed a real conversation. Those sentences. That story. That is what real English sounds like. Simple. Human. Real. Now here is your challenge for today. I want you to think of one situation. Just one. Maybe you want to order food. Maybe you want to ask for directions. Maybe you want to introduce yourself to someone new. Pick one situation. Now think of 5 simple sentences you could say. Just 5. You don't need more. Write them down if you can. Practice them out loud. Say them again and again until they feel easy. Because here is what happens when you practice small conversations. Your brain starts to relax. You stop being afraid. You stop worrying about every word. You start to trust yourself. And then one day, in a real moment, the words come out. Naturally. Clearly. Confidently. And you think, I did that. I really did that. That moment is coming for you. I promise. You don't need 1,000 words. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need to wait until you feel ready. You just need to start. Use what you have. Say what you know. Keep it simple. Keep it real. 1 sentence today. 1 conversation tomorrow. 1 confident speaker very soon. This is RV Grow. I'm James and I am proud of every step you take. Keep listening. Keep shadowing. Keep speaking. And remember, 100 words is enough to change everything. See you next time.